Dan woke up on a small cottage iron bed. This was his first time seeing such a bed outside of movies, much less of being a top one. He looked around the room. It was pretty small as a restaurant's powder room, the lounge/washroom area where women go to reapply makeup. The walls of the room were painted green, and the paint looked several decades old. If not for the still solid structural integrity of the room, Dan would have branded it as decrepit. It took his sleep-addled mind several minutes to speculate on how he got here. His memory returned in flashes. He mentally saw an event horizon, a blue fire, a swirling vacuum space. He could remember Rogers calling out warnings to him. Slowly, as he did nothing but lay on the iron bed and try to recall, his memory came back together. He remembered how he'd gone to see Rogers for guidance and reassurance that Dan wouldn't falter in his therapy journey. He'd been reassured, but then a strange and impossible phenomenon had happened. A wormhole had appeared in Rogers' fireplace. The wormhole had been surrounded by a bright electric blue fire. Dan recalled moving closer to inspect this strange phenomenon, despite Rogers' cautious comments to stay back. And then, all of a sudden, the vacuum force from the wormhole had pulled him in. He can't remember much about the space-time jaunt, save flashing neon lights of every shade in the color spectrum. It was a wonder he hadn't gone blind. The journey had been extraordinarily quick, which made for another wonder. How hadn't his body been disintegrated by the inertia destabilization of such velocity? He didn't know where he was, but based on what he could remember from before he passed out, he certainly knew when he was. For a wormhole or any device or vehicle to transport one through time, it was theorized by a scientist Dan could not remember the name of. The speed required must be superluminary. There was no way any organic matter was supposed to survive the force of such speed, yet here Dan was when he was supposed to have been torn apart atom by atom.